The next part of his thesis defense. What to do with Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and their respective teams. What do they need to do for them to win the NBA championship? And we'll catch up with the TNT Tropang Giga's boy Erram and RR Bogdanovich Pogoy to talk about the latest in their training camp as they prep for the upcoming PBA season. The young Gilas Pilipinas went beyond expectations in making Filipinos proud during the FIBA Asia Cup and the FIBA Olympic qualifiers. With so many iconic moments on and off the court, we could definitely say that the Filipino basketball history is still being written by our young and formidable Gilas squad. Now tonight, the proud leader of the BTS fan group of Gilas Pilipinas, he purples all of you, Mike Nieto, joins us to share his experience playing at the world stage, facing Boban Marjanovic, and of course how he was smooth like butter being buddies with Team Korea. Big Mike, welcome back home and welcome to the game. Kamusta ka naman?
Hey, Tego, good evening. Thanks for having me sa show ninyo.
Alright.
Okay naman.
Okay, so Mike, we're gonna go from this chronological order, okay? Starting from the end of the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers, wherein at the end of the entire experience, we saw pictures of you alongside the Korean national team, basically sharing the love. In fact, you also defended the Philippine Army in general in terms of their fandom. First of all, how was it like interacting with the Korean players after that entire tournament? And more importantly, sino yung bias mo?
Well, siguro, Sir Paolo, at the end of the day, syempre magkakalaban kami sa court, but off the court, as you saw dun sa pictures tsaka dun sa video na I posted, magkakaibigan naman lahat eh. And actually, that was a funny story kasi I am a huge fan of the BTS band. And then, sinabi ko kay Coach Sandy mismo, kasi meron doon sa Korea na kamukha nung bias ko sa BTS. And then sinabi ko kay Coach Sandy na if ever I was given an opportunity to have a picture with him, talagang igagrab ko na yung opportunity. And binigyan ata talaga ako ni Lord ng pagkakataon na makita siya. Mas kinabahan pa nga ako actually nung nakita ko sila nung after nung game kaysa nung naglalaro eh. So talagang nakita ko yung kamukha nung bias ko, which is si Jin. And then yun, hindi na ako talagang nag-hesitate. Lumapit na kami ni Coach Sandy sa kanila, nagpa-picture na ako, and then nakipagkwentuhan ng
confidence.
And then of course, hindi ko na napigilan. Siyempre, pinakita ko rin yung version namin ng Dynamite sa kanila.
may video ba ng Dynamite or yung version yung Dynamite with the Korean team or wala naman? I'm sure they know.
Meron kami nila Dwight, merong version namin sa Gilas version, pero with the Koreans, wala eh.
Wala.
Sana, pagbalik nila, makita namin sila eh, makasayaw rin namin sila.
Alam mo, yan yung next project mo. Actually, pinapanood nga namin ngayon eh, yung version niya ni Dwight.
Alam mo yung moves mo, Mike?
Kailangan may full body version yan eh. Next time, kapag nasa studio na kayo, okay, tingnan natin.
Mike, basketball naman tayo. I know we all know that this is your first time competing in the world stage. Teammates pa nga tayo noon, Batang Gilas, in the FIBA World Championship there. Pero ano yung difference ngayon? Ano yung pagkakaiba? Dati, you competed against the best in the world na ka-age mo. Ngayon, you're in the men's team, so much older than you guys. Ano yung difference ng pag-compete sa world stage this time?
Wala. Ito na kasi, of course, to be able to face former, present, and past NBA players, ang dami talaga naming matututunan sa kanila. And I think we just took it as a challenge para talagang malalaki sila, mas mabibili sila. But as Filipinos, we tend to fight no matter what. And that no matter what problem, no matter what hindrance we face, or we faced during those two games, talagang pinanindigan na lang namin yung pagiging Pilipino namin na laban lang hanggang dulo. And buti na lang medyo nakadikit tayo sa Serbia, and hanggang nung third quarter nakadikit tayo sa Dominican Republic.
What's the biggest learning that you had from yung experience nyo, especially in Serbia? Back-to-back big-time games, and all of a sudden, parang it's a whole new world in terms of how competitive it can get.
Well, siguro one of the main takeaways, not only during the OQT but also during the Asia Cup qualifiers, was that you really have to be prepared heading into games like those. Kasi hindi basta-basta pwedeng bigla ka na maglalaro out of nowhere. And been a student of Coach Tab since I was in college. Di ba, kailangan talaga prepared ka. Sabi nga niya, hindi ka pwedeng pumunta sa gera na wala kang dala-dalang gamit. So, heading into the Asia Cup qualifiers and heading into the OQT, we knew that we were prepared, that no matter what na medyo dehado tayo sa age or sa height or sa bilis, we knew that we were prepared and we were ready for the games. And yun, nakapagpakita naman kami and nakita naman ng mga tao kung gaano namin pinaghandaan yung games. And we have to give credit where credit is due also. Di ba, hindi lang naman kaming 12 players na nasa OQT ang tumulong sa amin but also yung mga kuyas namin sa PBA. Yan, sila Kuya RR, sila Kuya Poy, na ever since nung last window pa lang, kasama na si Kuya RR, kasama namin doon sa pinakamatagal na bubble namin sa Inspire. And talagang tulong-tulong lang and buti na lang nagbunga nung dulo.
Well, Mike, sabi ni Coach Tab, there are no moral victories, sabi nga niya, even in both games. And sabi niya, either you win or you lose, you always learn something. And ikaw, as one of the leaders, you were a born leader, Mike, high school, college, you were always a leader in your teams. Ano yung mga specific ways na ginagawa mo to lead the team para matutunan nila yung system ni Coach Tab? Ngayon na ikaw, sobrang familiar mo with it eh.
Ako kasi as a player also, ever since I was in high school, this Diego, talagang maingay na ako di ba? Hindi ko kayang tisin kapag may nakikita kong mali sa team. And I've been under Coach Tab since I was in second year college and medyo memorize ko na yung system niya. So it's about me sharing what I know. And nung nasa Inspired din kasi kami, binigyan kami ng index card ni Coach Tab. Lahat kami binigyan niya ng roles doon. And ako, number one role ko talaga is to become like the coach on and off the court. Kasi syempre, as one of the leaders of the team together with Isaac, kailangan namin gabayan, lalo na yung mga hindi pa masyadong gamay yung system ni Coach Tab para makapasok, di ba? Para mag-buy-in sila sa system. And as players of Gilas Pilipinas, lahat naman willing mag-sacrifice di ba?
Yeah.
Lahat willing mag-sacrifice ng minutes and at the same time points para because lahat talaga nag-sacrifice, lahat pinanindigan lang yung respective roles nila. And sa dulo nakita naman ng lahat kung gaano ka-effective yung nangyari na training sa Inspire sa amin.
Well, Big Mike, we call you Big Mike because you're a big guy. But then, when you were playing against Boban Marjanovic, you were just Mike. In fact, you were small Mike. Pero, how was that experience playing with, against Boban Marjanovic? And of course, yung experience off the court. Kasi ang dami yung footage with Bobby after that particular game.
Siguro si Boban talaga naging role model sa amin, lalo na kaming mga bata. Kasi even though he's already a star player ng Serbia and at the same time a well-known NBA player, off the court talaga, grabe, parang akala mo normal na tao lang siya. Siya pa mismo, there was this one instance na nahulog ni Kuya Rolly yung mga tuwalya namin on the way back to the locker room after the Serbia game. And siya mismo yung pumulot ng tuwalya at tumulong kay Kuya Rolly. And talagang this serves as a lesson for all of us na kahit sino ka man, kahit nasan ka man ngayon, you really have to stay humble. And on the court, sabi nga ni Isaac, that's why he's an elite NBA player dahil sa mga pinagagawa niya, di ba? But hopefully, we can see Kai coming in as the next Filipino or the first all-Filipino NBA player, di ba, na makapasok sa NBA. And, we're very excited for what's to come.
Well, now that you're back home from Serbia, Mike, what's next for Gilas? Ano yung mga upcoming plans niyo?
So naka 10-day quarantine kami as of now. Pero I think after this 10-day quarantine, bibigyan lang kami ni Coach Tab ng ilang araw na break. Knowing Coach Tab, alam niyo naman talagang papagura talaga yon. So bibigyan lang kami ng ilang araw na makapagpahinga, tapos balik kami, I think, sa Inspire to get ready for the Asia Cup this August.
Mike, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Alam mo, it's such a pleasure seeing your growth on the international stage. And para sa ng Army dun, pa-finger heart naman dyan bago ka umalis. Ayan, there you go. Ayan.
Thank you, Big Mike, for joining us tonight. Meantime, another Filipino athlete is aiming to make the country proud abroad. Former UP Fighting Maroon Javi Gomez Del Llano joins the Filipino talent that will soon be playing in Japan. Following his amazing stint with Gilas Pilipinas at the FIBA Olympic qualifiers, the 22-year-old will be playing in the Japan B-League with the Division 1 team Ibaraki Robots. Javi joins brother Juan Gomez Del Llano and the Ravenna brothers 30 and Kiefer in the list of hoop stars looking to raise our flag in Japan.
Now, when we return, the scholar ng bayan, Diego Dario, is back for the next part of his thesis defense. This is the longest thesis defense in history, by the way. What do the Suns and the Bucks need to do for them to win the NBA championship? Keep it here. You're watching the game. Welcome back to the game. I'm Paulo de Rosario. Now, let me say it again. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer because the NBA Finals is here. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday. It is the battle between the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks. Which of these superstars will win their first ever NBA title? Game 1 will be on Wednesday, 9 a.m. Manila time. In the spirit of the upcoming NBA Finals, Republica Huddle host Nico Ramos joins us tonight, and my co-host Diego Dario is back for the next part of his never-ending thesis defense. All right, so before we begin here, saying hello to Nico Ramos. Nico, how are you doing?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm doing great.
All right, so for those who are not familiar with Nico, he has a PhD in Kobe and swag. I have a master's in jazz basketball. And tonight, Diego Dario will present his 3 keys to win for the Bucks and the Suns respectively, and then give his NBA Finals Series prediction. Now, before I go to Diego, Nico, what are your prospects on Diego actually convincing us one way or the other here?
I've known Diego ever since he was a very, very young student. I know off the court, if you look at Diego, he has the God-given gift of eternal youth at forever magmumukhang young student si Diego. And I mean that in the best possible way. He's one of the best student athletes I've ever come across. Has a high basketball IQ, but I've always, by default, tended to not believe Diego. Well,
Okay.
what good reason do I have? None really. But good luck, Jegs. Good luck.
Okay, so here we go, Diego. Any opening statements before we begin, or do you just want to go straight at it?
Sir Pao, you called for backup. You called Nico Ramos pa for our ano.
I mean, like, we have to make sure that you get through this in the toughest way possible.
Okay, so both of you are my professors for today. And where's my presentation?
I don't know, kasalanan mo yun.
Next
So
slide,
let's get
please.
started.
All
There
right.
it is. There
All right,
it is.
so for tonight, I'll show the 3 keys for the Bucks to win. Again, for Sir Pao and Sir Nico, Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday should each score at least 25 points per game if they want to win. So if they want to win, they should score 25 points per game. In other words, they should be aggressive, make plays for their offense, for the shooters, and basically have the ball be aggressive. Because we'll never know if Giannis is going to be 100% or healthy. So in the past games, in their past series against the Hawks, both scored more than 25 points in the wins against Atlanta Hawks.
Nico, your thoughts on this one?
No, I mean, I think Jego's very smart in the sense that he's anticipating that health is going to be a huge factor, if not the determining factor in this series. And if Giannis is not 100%, or if Giannis maybe misses some games, the pressure is on. The 25 point per game average for both Drew and for Chris Middleton, I think, is in anticipation that maybe prime two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo is not going to be there for them, at least not in his best form. So I think that while that is a very tall order, I think that's the bare minimum of expectations between 2/3 of the big three if Giannis isn't in MVP form.
All right. So,
Started off on a good note.
okay, so because Nico, it's his first time here, he's being nice, okay? So, let's move on to the rest of your reasons for the Bucks first before we move on to the Suns.
For the key number 2 for the Milwaukee Bucks, they need to have that solid team defense against the pick and roll. As we all know, the Phoenix Suns love running a lot of pick and rolls, and not just regular pick and rolls. I mean, paint pick and rolls, double pick and rolls. For me, the best way to defend the pick and roll is using 5 players. So
All right. Okay, so the next one.
third key, stretch the floor. So Bucks average 12.4 threes in wins, so they probably need to hit these threes probably on a 12-13 mark in order for them, to have a chance against the Suns. They have shooters in PJ Tucker, Pat Connaughton, Forbes, and it's always going to be with Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton attacking the paint and creating for everyone.
Well, a lot of these actually involve the anticipation that Giannis won't be at full strength. At least that's what I'm seeing here, Jegs. But Jegs, my question for you here is that when you're looking at guys like Chris Paul and looking at guys like Devin Booker, who do you feel are the players that are going to have to shut them down to make sure that they go all the way?
Well, I think for Chris Middleton, I think he's going to be guarding D-Book. Chris Paul will be guarded by Drew for sure. Drew's one of the best defenders in the league.
Okay.
And let's see if Chris Paul responds.
Okay, so Nico, we're gonna have you go grill him on his Suns takes, and Jegs, take us through your 3 reasons why the Suns will go all the way, or what they have to do rather.
All right, for the Phoenix Suns, right here, my first key for the Phoenix Suns.
Okay, so we're looking at his summary first here. So Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday with 25 points per game, solid team defense against pick and roll and stretch the floor. Very, very non-Giannis centric, in other words. Okay, so daanan na natin yung sa Phoenix Suns. Ano yung first step mo? Jegs, mention it here even before the slide comes out.
All right, for the first key for the Phoenix Suns, they need to take advantage of Giannis Antetokounmpo's health in the first few games. So what I mean by this is, if Giannis is going to play, he's not going to be 100%. They probably have to attack him on the pick and rolls, involve him on defense, and pick up the pace. This way, Giannis will have to run back and forth in a quick, fast way.
Yeah.
And let's see if his body's going to be able to adapt to that kind of pace.
Nico, is that I think that's his number one key, and it feels like that's a pretty obvious one. Do you feel the same way that they have to take advantage early on, especially with Giannis not healthy yet?
Chris Bosh went on TV a few weeks ago and said that he doesn't expect Giannis to be back playing in this playoffs. That's how bad the injury is, because it's a similar injury that Chris Bosh suffered at some point in his career. So I think that Jegs is pretty smart in the sense that he's doubling down on attacking Giannis, because the flip side is, if Giannis is healthy, he's the one player that you don't want to attract at the pick and roll, and he's the one player who you want to avoid having a fast-paced up and down game with, because that plays directly to his strengths on offense and on defense. But, it seems very clear that the Dario bet is that Giannis isn't going to be at 100%, and I think it's a smart bet.
All right, so the next two ones, Diego, before Nico tries to grill you on that one again.
For my second key for the Suns is solid individual defense. Right here it says 12.5% of the Bucks offense is in isolation, and the Bucks average the fewest number of passes per game in the playoffs. So a lot of the Bucks offense is basically giving it to the playmaker. Shooters are spread out, break down the defense one-on-one, and if they have a shot, they're going to take it. If not, help comes, they're going to get the open shooter, and hopefully they make it. So that's what the Suns need to do. They have to stay in front, no breakdowns. For the third key, DeAndre Ayton against the Milwaukee Bucks interior. Bucks are number one in defending points in the paint. We saw that in the previous series. Clint Capella had a hard time. Bam Adebayo had a hard time against the Bucks defense. But if DeAndre Ayton proves us wrong again, he's been playing so well. He really deserved that number one pick. If he stays aggressive, I think the Suns have a greater chance to win if he goes up against this Milwaukee Bucks interior.
All right, so his prediction, by the way, naunahan ka na sa prediction. Series prediction, Suns in 7. All right, Nico.
All right, wait. Just to clarify, this is when if Giannis plays. If Giannis plays, this is going to be a different story.
If Giannis plays, it's Suns in 7. But then it's already on paper, man. I mean, your points are assuming Giannis isn't playing, and yet here you are saying that if Giannis plays, it's Suns in 7. But Nico, your take first on that prediction. Do you feel it is a Suns in 7 series?
I think it's tough. I think obviously health is a big question mark, but I've been riding Jegs' picks and I've been riding Jegs' analysis so far. I'm not gonna stop now. I think that Suns in 7 is a good pick. I think that he's right, and especially with points 2 and 3. The challenge there is Devin Booker. If you look at Game 5 that the Clippers won against the Suns, 14 field goals for Paul George. 10 of those field goals, Devin Booker was the primary defender. So when he says individual defense has to be better, he's talking about one Mr. Devin Booker. And then the interior defense that Milwaukee has, that's going to be the best challenge that DeAndre Ayton's going to have to face all series long. So he's great. I still wouldn't have picked him number 1. He could win a championship, the Finals MVP, average 30 points per game here. I still would have picked Luka. But apart from that, I'm with Diego all the way.
All right. So, just really quickly, Nico, using the UP grading system, what grade do you give Diego?
Uno, flat 1.
Wow. Okay.
Cum laude.
Sure. All right. Whatever.
Oh, thanks for bringing Nico in. I got a 2 on the last one.
All right, Nico, thank you very much for joining us. Diego, come back here in just a bit. Thank you. And after the break, we'll talk PBA basketball as Tropang, Giga, Erram, and RR Pugoy join us to share the latest from their team's preparation for the upcoming PBA conference. Stay tuned. You're watching the game. Welcome back to the game. I'm Paulo Del Rosario. Now we are inching closer and closer to the 46th PBA season, and teams continue to ramp up their off-season training, with some squads looking to pick up where they left off. The last time we saw the TNT Tropang Giga on the PBA floor, they were 3 wins away from their first PBA title since 2015. Now, with a reloaded lineup and return of 5-time PBA Coach of the Year, Coach Chot Reyes, they have their sights set on a return to the finals and lifting the trophy. Joining us tonight to give us an inside look at their bubble training in Ilocos Norte, we have 2-time PBA All-Star Boy Erram and 3-time PBA All-Star RR Pogoy. Katropa, welcome to the game.
Hi mga kuya.
Hello. Thank you.
Alright, so again, Boy, RR, galing kayong training bubble. You're not in the bubble right now, but then yung experience na yun, being able to train in a bubble, going back into scrimmages, how was it like? Siguro yung mga first training nyo and the first taste of scrimmages na full blast in a very long time, Boy.
Noong una, medyo wala pa sa rhythm. And siyempre, yung katawan din medyo wala pa sa condition kasi nga after no last finals, pahinga konti, tapos nag-start yung practice, tapos na ulit, di ba nag-lockdown ulit. So, medyo dapat parang nakabuelo na and ito ulit. So, medyo nahirapan kami pagdating sa bubble. Pero yun nga, we're professional, so alam namin kung ano yung expect namin pagdating sa bubble. So, yun, nag-ready lang kami. And then, paunti-unti, although sa simula, medyo magulo talaga, medyo nahihirapan sa mga plays kasi bagong coach, bagong system. So, given naman yun na may hirapan ka talaga. Pero yun nga, we're there to improve, we're there to para mag-build ng chemistry, mag-build yung rhythm namin, yung character sa team, individually mag-improve kami as a team yun.
Well, kay Kuya RR naman, madaming nangyari sa off-season niya sa TNT, pero isa sa pinaka-headline yung pagbalik ni Coach Chot as head coach of the team. Kamusta naman yung pagbabalik ni Coach so far? Ano yung mga difference na nangyayari?
Sa akin naman parang kilala ko na si Coach Chot kasi yun nga, under ako sa kanya nung naghilas ako. So walang adjustment sa akin. Sa mga teammates ko na lang siguro. Pero naman, yung bubble naman namin doon is more on bonding, kaya makilala mo talaga yung isa't isa kasi walang uwian. Sabay kain, sabay ensayo. So, importante talaga yung bubble sa amin, lalo na bago yung coach siya.
So, nakailan empanada ka doon, RR?
Sarap
Marami. Sarap na empanada sa Ilocos.
Pero na-mention mo nga, Poy, actually na-mention mo that syempre bagong sistema under Coach Chot. Yung mga roles nyo ba, nag-iba ba in terms of what's being asked of you?
More of, kailangan mo i-improve yung ibang skills mo na hindi mo nagagawa before. Kasi yung system niya, which we all know, na dribble drive. So, kailangan mo talagang, hindi lang kailangan na spot up ka lang. Yung big man, kailangan marunong ka rin magbasa ng play. Kailangan marunong ka magtawag ng plays. Kailangan alam mo kung ano yung position ng guard. Kailangan mo, alam mo rin kung saan ka pupunta. And then, ang tinuturo niya is learn how to play. Kailangan mo mag-read, kailangan mo basahin kung ano gagawin ng teammates mo. Hindi pwedeng nakatayo ka lang. Hindi pwedeng maghihintay ka lang sa coach kung anong gagawin, di ba? So kailangan mo maglaro. Wala naman kaming limit as long as we follow the system. Kung ma-break man namin, alam namin kung ano yung next na gagawin. So yun yung talagang tinuturo ni coach sa amin na maglaro lang kami, wala kami ibang iisipin. Kaya kami nagbabasketball kasi gusto namin maglaro. So yun lang, inaayos lang is yung kung paano mo babasahin yung teammate mo, kung paano hindi ka masyadong mapipressure sa loob na parang pag hindi mo na lang gagawin sa bola, titingin ka sa coach mo, papasa mo, which is mag-end up ng turnover. So yun yung iniiwasan ni coach, yun yung iniiwasan namin, yung pinapractice namin.
RR, you mentioned it a while ago that syempre medyo gamay mo na yung sistema ni Coach Chot. But seeing that you are one of the people that actually know what Coach Chot wants, what's going to be the biggest difference between TNT last conference and in the upcoming conference? And how excited should TNT fans be?
Siguro mas more on Pinoy basketball kami ngayon. Yung alam mo yung parang bara-bara laro. Si triple drive kami. Oo, ganun. Parang ganun kami ngayon. So siguro mas effective siguro kasi yun nga, yung dribble drive parang parang pang Pinoy talaga na lang Yun ang pala yung sinasabi ni Coach Chot na bara-bara game.
RR, boy, salamat. We're excited to see what TNT can do in the upcoming conference. Dribble drive, parang Pinoy yung laro. It's gonna be exciting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kuyas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. I am Diego Dario.
And I'm Paolo Del Rosario. This has been The Game.